Because we remember, as we said in the last video, we are the prime examples of clutch, and we actually clutched at 11:58 p.m. 11:58 p.m. We were on GitHub trying to update our repositories, and it was a crazy mess out
We were
there.
finding the APK file. Yeah, it was.
I was trying to clone it and then I pushed it, bro. The whole repository just got deleted,
My
bro.
bad, gang.
My bad.
This roundtable conference is brought to you by SEG 2105, one of the best courses taught by one of the best profs, Mr. Hussein Al Osman. The course is Introduction to Software Engineering. It teaches you all the fundamental concepts of software engineering. It's the best course you guys can take if you guys are in the engineering faculty, or even if you guys want to take another course. Welcome back to Innovate Cast, where we explore the next generation of student-centered technology. Today, it's our project, OTAMS, the online tutoring application management system. OTAMS connects students, tutors, and administrators in one secure, efficient Android app that is powered by, obviously, Google's Firebase. Hey, my name is Gautam. In many schools and tutoring centers, appointment systems still run on emails, paper forms, and scattered apps like Google Calendar, Microsoft Forms, or WhatsApp. That causes scheduling conflicts, poor transparency, and no centralized tracking. Thus, everything is a mess. The small-scale businesses do not have enough money to purchase the hardware stuff and also the expensive form stuff. The medium to high-scale founders may have the money, but they still do not know how to handle all this. Only the high-scale industries from our market research show that they know how to handle their tutoring management systems. Our goal was a unified app where students register, tutor manage sessions, and all the admins monitor the approvals, all in one single place.
Hey everyone, my name is Adam, and I'll be walking you through my part of this project, specifically for the tutor sessions and availability. So specifically, how we use Firebase Firestore to manage tutor availability and sessions in real time. I think we use this because we for sure said that the Firestore is way better than the real-time database. I'll talk about what problem we're solving, what Firestore comes in play, and how tutors can create and manage control their session using these features that are implemented. So what was the core problem of this project, OTAMS? So before this milestone, tutor, they didn't know or really have a way to manage their schedules properly. Students could make requests, but they wouldn't be like a structured calendar for the tutor part, or live updates, you can say. So our goal was to build a complete tutor management experience where tutor could, create availability slot in 30 minutes. They prevent overlapping with other student sessions, and they control whether the session request can be approved, denied, or approved. Like I said, with the switch auto, I'll talk about it. I'll talk about that later.
Hi, I'm Arsh. I work mostly on the user interface and user experience side of the OTAMS. Basically, how students, tutor, and admins interact with the app. My main area was the student registration and approval flow, making sure it looked clean, felt intuitive, and actually worked in real time. For student registration, our idea was to make the process super clean and simple. The student fills out the registration screen with basic details, and we used inline validations, so if a field is missing or invalid, they get instant feedback before even pressing submit. Tutor registers the same way, and both go into Firebase with the status pending until admin reviews it. We paid a lot of attention to visual consistency, same button styles, fonts, and spacing, so every role feels like a part of the same app rather than three disconnected portals. The idea was clean layout, no clutters, no confusion, one smooth system.
So I'll take over from here, and my name is Ryan. I'm responsible for the data and authentication layer of OTAMS. My job was to design how users' roles and tutoring data are stored, and to implement the repository so that the rest of the team can plug in their UIs without worrying about the backend details. I'll walk through what I implemented, access all three deliverables, and the domain models, the authentication repository, Firestore integration, availability, and the admin's approval flow. I will give it back to Gautam from here.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Rayon, and the other teammates out here.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Arsh and Adam. Now we're going to deep dive on our app. From now, what you're going to see is the entire UI divided into different sections, into 4 primary sections. That's the main UI, the tutor side, the student side, and the backend side. The backend side will be dubbed by Mr. Rayan. The tutor side will be dubbed by Mr. Adam, and the student side will be dubbed by Mr. Arsh. Right? So let's dive quickly into this. Before, there's a short ad. When we designed OTAMs, our main rule was minimal screens, obvious actions, every flow is user-based, text is exact, and validation is completely friendly, and user is easily able to access and navigate throughout. It was clear contrast, large touch targets, and clear toasts. As you guys see on the screen, we have a very decent logo that actually defines what our tutor is about, what our app is about. We have the blue and black colors. This is the landing page, what you see on your screen at this moment. It has a logo, it has an email password field, and a primary login button. Below that, there are two links which says register as student, register as tutor. The entire code part will be dealt in the backend section of this roundtable. And we give an instant feedback. If it's an empty email, we directly say, hey, please enter a valid email. If it's a weak password, hey, we again say, please enter a strong password which contains at least 6 characters. The login button is going to stay disabled till both these things are valid and are met because of the toast feature. After the sign-in is done, we then go directly to the Firebase, and here comes the admin's role. It navigates to 3 different sections. That's the approved, the navigate to welcome, and then print the exact single line. Welcome, login as administrator, student, or tutor. Then pending. This is the toast where it says your registration is pending approval. Now this is directly again the Firestone part and the admin part. When you log in as an admin person, you get access to the admin roles. And these admin roles are basically you cause an approval to an application, or you reject the application, or you put the application on hold for further any other clarifications required, such as documents needed, such as IDs needed, or any other verification needed. The next is the reject toast. Your registration was rejected, and please contact a number or an email address. Why? Because obviously we care about the users that enter our field. We care about every single person who is stepping into our system needs a proper validation. This means even if their request is rejected, we have a valid reason or a valid contact email right there. The last part is the log off that clears everything, and the user can now go into the main system. Our registration is simple and strict. Each screen has labeled fields, helper text, and inline errors. Submit stays disabled until everything is valid, such as the email, the password fields, and anything that we talked about before. Student contains first name, last name, email, program, phone, and the program of study. And the tutor contains first/last name, the email password, their phone, their highest degrees, and the courses they signed up to offer for it. On screen, we have 2 courses that you can see. On your screen now is the actual tutor side, and now is the student side. We learned that showing errors as a type of reduces retries. If we can exactly point at what was the error caused, we can remove the redundancy, and that'll be better UX and UI right there. On successful submit, we don't auto log in the person. We show the toast, hey, you submitted for approval, please log in a certain amount of time, or please log in later. Tutor features start with my availability. We use a date picker that block past dates, and time pickers that step into 30 minutes increment. Basically, when we go into tutor page, when the tutor is signed up and everything's approved, our next step is to go and find the slots. When is the tutor available to teach course X or course Y? Once this thing is done, this thing is now shared with the students, and there's a whole process from there. Right? Sessions are split into 3 tabs, such as pending tabs, the pending section, the upcoming session, and the past section. The past section also has another sub-tab called as a recording and the notes. The pending card shows the student name, the course, and the requested time. Tap for approval or reject. So you can hit approve or reject. The upcoming sessions show the future times, and you have an action to actually cancel or rebook the sessions depending on your availability. Past have completed sections, and you can also hit the recording button to view the past recordings or the notes in case you just want to have a look on the notes. Next, we had our market research done, and it shows that most of the things people are worried about, hey, where can I find the recordings? Hey, are the recordings getting deleted after 24 hours of the session? Hey, how will I get the notes? Will it be in PDF format? Will it be in Word format? Will it be in normal format? We have done the market research, and we have found out that the best format is PDF and an MP4 file, and therefore all the recordings are available more than 24 hours, at least in the cloud storage, and it can be requested upon approval. And the recordings are in MP4 format, and our notes are in PDF format. And that's more of it. We had 48 DP touch targets. That is, everything was measured with success targets and dot to dot DP the pointers, and it was done successfully. But as you guys know, there's always ups and downs in every single project that we do. We once failed to check adding the word successfully to the welcome line. We centralized all strings, and that caused an issue too. The Firebase was once a result an issue, but as a result, now everything is fixed and our MVP has been launched.
All right, thank you, Gautam. I really appreciate it. To continue on that, all the IDs that we have, it needs a good Firestore structure, as you can see. To make that work, we have designed 3 main Firestore collections. We used users, we call that users, from a hash map. When we coded that, it stores the tutor, the student profiles with every single field that Gautam just said, the availability, which holds each tutor, their slots, their date, their time, and the end time. The session requests that tracks all the session requests from the recycler view from the admin inbox. This structure really gives us the flexibility that when tutor can create anything or can delete anything that he wants to do, and that Firestore structure automatically keeps the student site updated. And I do remember with Ryan, we had many issues with the rules. If you do remember, Ryan, we had like auto signed in. It's not going to work. It's going to give us a toast message, permission denied, and we actually used many.
Scratched our head for days on that.
You remember how long did that take to actually?
It took like
like
really
many
took
hours.
days,
It took
bro.
many days. We were literally standing up in the what was the building?
STEM.
We remember
yeah.
we were up at
Yes.
like 12 a.m. in the
Yes,
night.
yeah,
We were like,
exactly.
yo, Ryan came up to us and he's like,
Exactly.
hey, we have issues. I'm like, yo, fix it. And then he
Fix
was
it,
like,
and then I was
yo,
like-
what to do? And then he was like, bro, quick,
Exactly.
we're running out of time, bro.
God damn.
But yeah, like I said, this is the implementation of the tutor
It's
site.
been heavily tested. Let's just say that. Heavily tested.
Heavily.
Yeah,
Tested.
we had a lot
Late
of
nights, late
trials
nights.
out.
Late night.
Late editing.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because we remember, as he said in the last video, we had the prime examples of clutch, and we actually clutched at 11:58 p.m.
We did
11:58 p.m. We were on GitHub trying to update our
Yes,
repositories,
of
and it was a
course.
crazy mess
We
out
were
there.
Bro,
finding
we're-
the APK file. Yeah, it was.
I was trying to clone it and then I pushed it, bro. The whole repository just got deleted,
My
bro.
bad, gang.
My bad gang.
My bad,
Bro
gang.
text on WhatsApp, hey, I was trying to clone the repository, I deleted the whole repository by mistake. In such a chill tone.
Yeah, it was too funny,
Yeah.
seriously. But yeah. So again, if we can continue, a tutor, he creates the new availability spot and they tap the button manage on the UI. And that launches what? It launches an interface of date picker dialog that I've implemented.
You see
And
it on
you
the screen,
choose-
by
you
the way.
see-
It's all on your screen what he's saying.
All right, okay. You see that date picker dialog. You see, those sites where you select a date, time. It's exactly like that. It makes it very easy for the tutor to choose their slot and automatically lasts 30 minutes. We need to enforce that rule from the start to the end of the time. But before saving to the Firestore, we need to evaluate the 3 key rules, which are the slot can't be in the past, meaning that if it cannot be in the past, well, the student, if let's say he has a session, he cannot choose a past date or a past time. It's not going to work. So the start and end times must align with the 30-minute steps. The new slot must not also overlap with any existing slot that the tutor has on the same day with other students, for example. So how to check overlaps? What we did was we query the Firestore and all availability documents with the same date and compare their times. We use like a Boolean function to return the end time and this guy's saying C7. Okay. All right, Ryan. Okay, good job. So like I said, the 6-7, it's the
Apologize
return
for that,
time, it's
guys.
the Boolean. So everything looks good, We write the new slot as a new document in the collection of the Firestore. So that's pretty much it, really.
And that was done because we had initial testing on the phase of the tutor side,
Mhm.
and we found out that, let's say there are 2 time sets, so one is 12:30, one is 1:30. A tutor was having sessions from 12:30 to 1:30, and another session back to back from 1:30 to 3:30.
Yep.
And we found out that hey, this cannot be possible because tutor needs at least 15-20 minutes of break and
Mhm.
freshen up.
Exactly.
Because we do care and we emphasize on the quality more than the quantity of lectures there.
Mhm.
So we made ensure that every tutor has now a 15-minute break in the middle, so they can refresh, they can recharge, and then get back to work.
Right. True.
Thank you, Gautam and Adam. So I will walk you through the student registration works in OTEMS. It's actually pretty similar to the tutor registration, but with fewer input fields. When student opens the app, they go to the registration screen where they enter their first name, last name, email, password, and phone number. Basically, just the basic info you would expect. Once they hit register, the app checks that everything filled in properly. If something's missing or invalid, like if the email doesn't have an @ or the password is too short, it instantly shows a small toast message like invalid email or password. It must be at least 6 characters.
Yeah, that was very important because if you did not do that, then the authentication was a problem, right? Because remember that people weren't put in like ABC 1 2 3 4, and that was an easy hacking system right there because of the major leaks that everything had. So that was an important one.
That's exactly what
That's
we
exactly
added.
it, yeah,
Yes,
true.
yes. So after all the info is valid, we use the Firebase authentication to create the user account. That's what securely stores their login credential. Once Firebase creates the account successfully, the app gets the user unique ID, and then it saves all the student details in the Firestore under the document in the user collections.
Yeah, I remember when we did the registration page, it was not the UI. We actually used his UI because yours was purple and everything. It didn't match
Yes,
the
I remember.
the
Yeah.
UI
Match
that
the
Gokan did.
theme of that.
You remember
Yeah.
when we adding the color servers, we were doing, I guess, button.color, or there was some code.
Yes,
Remember,
yes.
we could
It
not
was-
change
we
the
couldn't
color.
change the background.
So
tint,
just to
yeah.
guys give you a bit of direction what was happening here, that we had a button, I think it was a login button,
Mhm.
and it was not
It was not
turning
changing.
black. It was not turning black for
was
some
not.
reason. It was just entirely blue. I was on
Yes,
this guy. Yo,
yes,
how do I do it?
exactly.
How do I
How
do
do
it?
we do it?
And then finally figured it out.
After
and
15
it worked.
minutes,
I
literally.
know. It took a lot of time.
It took
He
a
went
lot
on
of time.
Reddit. He went on
Yeah.
Google. He went on
Yeah.
YouTube videos. I'm like, bro, let me go on AI and find it out. It just didn't know.
It was not. It was not. It was not outside. It was not on Google. It was.
It was out of scope,
It was
but
out
we
of
dealt
scope,
with it.
literally, yeah.
So now the thing is, you guys may be wondering, hey, you guys are yapping a lot here. Where's the backend? How is it looking in the backend side?
What is their backend,
Right?
Ryan? Let's go, Ryan.
What do you guys do? How do you guys do it? I'm curious to know. I'm curious myself because I don't know what this guy did. So let's just put him on. Let's just.
Oh
put
yeah,
him
so
on
get
spot and let's find out.
let me get the backend started off, right?
Alright, do it, man. You got this.
So yeah, let's just start talking about the backend. You know, the actual coding, not unlike these guys.
The
Alright,
actual recipe, guys.
code,
The
yeah,
actual
yeah,
recipe.
yeah.
Okay.
So you
The
have heard
actual
about
logic.
the final product. You have heard about the pre-planning on discussion of what to
Hey,
think of it as a
your
recipe.
app is running because of me. Be quiet.
I know. Think of it like a recipe, guys. You decide what to eat, and you know what to eat, but do you
It's
know
all
how to cook
teamwork,
it?
Guys. All
He knows
teamwork.
how to
no
cook
beef,
it.
No beef.
No
All
beef,
teamwork,
yeah.
guys.
To start off, I completely set up Firebase for our project from scratch. I created Firebase project to register our Android app using the package name seg2105.group7.otams and then added the Google Service JSON file to the app module. From there, I
By the way-
configured the Gradle with the Google Service plugin and added the descriptions for the Firebase and Firebase authentication and Firestore. This allowed our app to communicate directly with Firebase, so all of our user accounts, login sessions, and tutor data are stored safely and securely on our cloud. Once the environment was ready, I built the core data structure that our app uses to represent people. Every user in OTAMS is based on a single class called base user, which includes fields like UID, email, name, phone, rule, and status. The role can be administrator, student, or tutor, and the status can be pending, approved, or rejected. The status system is really important because it lets us controls who can access what, and for example, new accounts are always created as pending and until an admin approves. Bro, this shit, when we
Excuse
were
me?
doing it,
Excuse me, bro.
Excuse me?
In a way,
This-
Catch does not
Listen,
allow
you
any
know the Google
vulgarity or
Service
any
JSON
nonsense
file?
words, bro.
The Google Service.
yeah,
JSON
that's
file.
what's
That-
going to start. The Google
that-
Service
it
JSON
was-
file, that
oh
was
my God.
so...
By the way, if you guys don't know what's a JSON for the non-computing people out here, it's
Mhm.
called this JavaScript object notation.
Mhm.
It's a file, and it's a text-based file format that uses a human-readable structure to store and exchange data. Basically, a lot of nonsense stuff in there. You know, it's a lot of mess in there. In short.
On top
Exactly.
of the base user, I extended two subclasses, students, which include details like program of study and the tutor, basically the stuff these guys already mentioned. I just connected it to our cloud. After that, after the models were done, I created an interface called auto repository, which defines the basic operations of authentication, registering student or tutor login and logout. Basically, connect as you basically heard already how it works. I basically connected that back to our cloud.
So he was like the foundation of the backside. So if there's no backend, the front end cannot function.
Front end
If there's
cannot
no
function.
storing,
Exactly.
there's no autofilling, there's
Exactly.
basically nothing. So he was the guy who came up and said, hey, I'm the guy who's going to do the Firestone part. Actually, we gave him the Firestone part, so he just did it.
Once Firebase was connected, I replaced in-memory version with the Fire Authentication repository. This one handles everything live in cloud, so everything was going on live seamlessly. There was no delay once this was, connected to the front end. When someone registers for Firebase authentication, creates their account, and then I create a corresponding document in the user collection with their role and default status of pending. That means their registration goes through an approval step, basically what already Gautam explained. I don't want to drag this on, I just want to explain the backend. So after that, all that happens, next I implemented the user repository, which is mainly for admin roles. The admin can view all users filtered by status and approve or rejected each one. My implementation called Firestore User Repository connects directly to Firestore and updates the status fields of any user. This is what powers the pending approval and approved tutor screen. Everything is ready and up to date the second a user logs in and the second administrator approves it or rejects it. So everything works in real time and there are no delays for people to keep waiting or when is this gonna arrive. Everything happens the instant people click buttons. So for deliverable 3, I extended the backend to handle tutors availability and booking sessions. I created the availability slot model to represent the time slots with fields for dates, start time, end time, whether it's auto-approved or when it was created. The tutor can delete these slots using Firestore availability repository, which stores everything in the availability slots collection. I also wrote a small time validation utils class that makes sure slots are always in 30-minute steps and not set in the past, just like my friend Adam already, dived deep into. I just made the backend work. Then I added the session model and the session repository. Each section links a student, a tutor, and a specific time slot and keeps status like pending, approved, rejected, or cancelled. Because all of this data is live in Firebase, I also wrote the security rules that go with it, the stuff that we were scratching our brains at 12.
Policy manual, guys. The policy
Bro,
manual.
that took
Holy-
a lot
took a
of
lot of
time to
time,
come up with
Imagine,
those rules, bro.
You know what was the problem? It
What?
was simply
What?
we did
What?
so much restriction on tutor and admin. If we only needed to use a function is signed in for
Yeah,
it to
bro.
work. That was the only issue.
Imagine a whole app is made and there's no policy to it. That'd be good to watch.
Yeah, so finally, after all of that back and forth,